Hello YouTube, I am Lightly Salted and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to the U-Boat. You'll recall from the last episode we had just finished polishing off an HX convoy, and we put into port, got ourselves some experience, some level ups, all that kind of good jazz, and we're ready now to begin a vacation and to take new orders. As usual, I'll be picking up the Bavarian Village. Much prefer the minus 50% slower fatigue rate. We'll go ahead and get that done. Alright, and the boat is fully kitted out, all loaded up with torps, fuel, food, and the like. So let's go ahead and talk to the leading officer. Solid work, Captain. Thanks, Mr. Klaus Schmid. Current orders. We have espionage at Portsmouth Port. That sounds very familiar to me. Joining the port of Bergen, so that's located in this area. Currently in build 127, I do not recommend moving to the Northern Sea ports. Bergen, Wilhelmshaven, so on and so forth. The North Sea and the Norwegian Sea seem to be a bit of a dead zone. The only thing you manage to pick up are orders to find missing or crippled U-boats and an awful lot of small war patrols. So if tangling with guns sounds like the way you want to go, absolutely give it a shot, but they are very sparse and few between. I recommend at this time to stay in the Atlantic or Mediterranean. Attack at Cardiff Docks. This sounds interesting. It's a level 3 mission. It's considered hard. We are ordered to sneak into Cardiff Docks and sink 2 ships that are corvette-sized or larger. Increased activity of enemy aircraft recently noted in the area. We would pick up 40,000 budgets and 100% more reputation. We would also pick up another radio officer, Mr. Dieter Schmidt. I'm intrigued by this one. I don't believe it's something we've done on the channel prior, so I think we'll go ahead and give it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and lay in a course to get us to our designated area. And I'll be seeing you very shortly. Alright, as you can see here, we're coming up to the approaches of the strait into Cardiff. It is currently coming on nightfall. That's a little concerning. We're meant to stay undetected in the direct neighborhood of the port. As it's coming on night now, I believe it'll still be day by the time we reach port. We may be spending an awful lot of our time underwater utilizing the snorkel. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Alright, we've got chimney smoke spotted. Whatever it is traveling away from us. I don't think I want to give away our position. I think we'll go ahead and dive to periscope depth. Mr. Taff, why don't we go ahead and raise the snorkel, please? And Mr. Quebec, I'll have you jump off the radio and onto the big ears. We'll have the skipper hide his periscope. Don't mind us, folks. Just another everyday European snorkel fish. Just trying to get by. Okay, we appear to have picked up a freighter. Again, I don't want to disobey this direct order to stay undetected. I think we're going to go ahead and give her a pass. We are currently 9% visible, due mostly to our snorkel. I think at this distance we should be okay, however. I may swap over to electric. Aha! We actually have a couple of freighters. I think at this moment I'm going to swap to electric motors to at least cut down on the exhaust signature of our ship. Skipper, we're at a distance far enough that I think we can raise the periscope. We'll have Mr. Knox run the radio for us, call that in. And of course, the ships are directly behind my snorkel. Alright, we appear to have a Liberty and an Empire Explorer. The Liberty is very likely armed. Again, my plan is to give them a pass. Skipper, go ahead and drop the periscope for me. We'll phone in that we've got this BB transport spotted and carry on with our primary objective. We are picking up quite a bit of traffic at this point. We may try to circumnavigate ever so slightly and try to get ourselves within range of the port. I don't believe I've got the research done for this in headquarters. No, I do not. I'm fully aware that there are both subnets and mines in this area. Since I don't actually have them laid out on the map, this makes it a little more dicey. I highly recommend performing due diligence and getting the research done before you attempt a mission of this caliber. I'd like to go a little faster. Noise is not really a concern of mine at the moment. We'll swap everybody around and carry on. Alright, we've left our impromptu escort behind us at this point. However, we still have an awful lot of ground to cover. We have something coming up behind us at a fair clip. Given its speed, I would say that's likely an NPC U-boat. Of course, I have no sight on her, but my bet would be an NPC U-boat at this point. Mr. Quebec, let's have you take a quick nap. Mr. Knox, take over Mr. Quebec's duties, please. Skipper, nap time for you. And we'll carry on. The fast contact to the rear has stopped. Oh, and she's moving again now at high speed. Yes, I'm guessing an NPC U-boat. It's a little worrisome. The NPC U-boats have a tendency to give away sneak attacks fairly often, believe it or not. And they can get you killed if you're not paying attention. Depth under keel is 30 meters. That's likely to drop a fair bit. Yes, we're going to get down to the point where we only have 14 or less under keel. That's going to make things rather difficult when it comes to staying at periscope depth. I think at this distance from the transports, I'm going to go ahead and risk switching back to diesels. I'd like to keep the electrics as primed as I can. We may be spending an awful lot of time below water shortly. Once we lose the rest of our room under keel, it's going to be important to get one of my engineers working the depth steers for us. Not the best suggestion, doing this in broad daylight. We are making a ton of noise, and our snorkel could give us away at any time. I do want to recharge the batteries, just in case. Okay, at this point we are within 11 kilometers of the dock. Again, I have no intel as to where the subnets and mines are. So we're sort of going to have to play this by ear, so to speak. I'll kit the boat out as best I can here. I think we're going to go ahead and reduce speed down to 2. I'll get Mr. Community having himself a rest. We're probably going to need some torpedoes pretty shortly. And we're going to have to get the skipper back on the periscope. I need to be able to see what we're dealing with. Okay, the game knows that we're where we're supposed to be. That is definitely a plus. And we now have eyes on the port. Okay, I'm going to switch to electric motors. And we're going to have to take a little peek here. I see no ships as of yet. It's likely due to the fact that I just haven't gotten close enough to detect anything. I'm also seeing no AA guns. Again, I'm guessing I'm just not close enough. Okay. Deeper. I'm extraordinarily worried about mines. I don't even know if I would see one, to tell you the truth. Like, outside the ship, I mean. I'm not sure if I would actually see it. I don't know if they're rendered. We're starting to make out a few more details about the port. Still nothing in the way of armament, nothing in the way of ship. Oh, hang on. I spoke too soon. I have found myself what appears to be... This Corvette appears to be, I would say, an Isles class. And there's something... That may just be a flag. I believe that to be another ship there. So it looks like we've got to head in this direction. As one of those ships is behind a seawall. So, once more into the breach, I suppose. I think I'm going to go ahead and lower the snorkel. I'm very concerned about the dock's defenses picking us up. So we'll lower the snorkel, we'll switch to blue lighting. That should keep us going for quite some time, I believe. Mr. Community, why don't we get started on torpedoes? With any luck, we're going to be within firing distance soon. Yes, I would say an Isles. Okay, now we're picking up dock defenses. Good, good, good. We appear to have some more ships parked over here behind the seawall. More AA guns. That is another Corvette there. And I believe that is a destroyer. I believe we may be able to take shots from here. And Mr. Community once again has only warmed up one torpedo. This is becoming tedious. That's 2 recordings now where I can't count on my mechanic to perform his tasks. That's interesting. He was a mechanic with an asterisk a second ago, and now he's mechanic. I wonder if that'll change the game. We're gonna find out. I've gone ahead and stopped the boat here. I think I can manage to hit them both. They're roughly 3 kilometers. I think we're gonna be okay. And no, Mr. Community still, again, is not warming torpedoes. I don't mind most of the micromanagement aspects of the game, but if I can't count on the mechanic to actually warm all the torpedoes in succession, that is very, very problematic. I'm kind of concerned about it. I was hoping that loading the save would have been enough to fix it this time around, but it would appear my hopes were for nothing. Oof. Having the dock behind you makes this very, very difficult. The colors are quite off. Let's go ahead and figure she's about there. V-class destroyer is... Yeesh. Right about there. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get going. I'm thinking I might do 3... I'm going to go with 2 for our destroyer. And I'll go 1 on the Isles and hope for the best.
Los! Rohr 4, bewässern!
Rohr 4 fertig.
Okay, now we just need a spot of luck.
Bis Torpedo einschlagen. 10 Sekunden bis Einschlag. Treffer. 30 Sekunden. Schwere Schäden am Rumpf. 10 Sekunden.
Incoming. Now, interestingly enough, I think our second torpedo hit the dock and not the ship. Alright, we're currently backing up. I'm going to pump her 1 more round into her, though. because I don't think she's going to go down on her own, and that would not help us with our mission. We're also going to need somebody on the radio to call this in. Our destroyer has become abandoned, and she's floating away from the dock. Actually, she is going to die on her own. I just wasted a torpedo. Okay, escaping is the thing to do now. And I'm thinking it's best to go out the same way we came in. Now all of a sudden, Mr. Community is warming torpedoes. Interesting. And there is our destroyer, sitting on the bottom, with her crew floating above her. I wonder what the torpedo is going to do without a target to hit. It'll be interesting to see. At this time, we're still not detected. We took our shots from far enough away that the port doesn't really have a chance to get us here. So that's a plus. We have another little fella over here doing a dance in his little rowboat, so that's fun. I'm kind of concerned. This torpedo is probably just going to hit the dock and explode. I wonder if it'll have any effect on the lifeboats. Incoming torpedo. That boat just disappeared. Oh, torpedo is coming in to strike the docks. And the lifeboat disappeared. I'm thinking they timed out as the first few disappeared before that, but, well, maybe we scared them away. Okay, nothing to do but to get gone at this point. We are picking up coastal patrol craft. Okay, that is a corvette heading toward us. She is not outfitted with any kind of sound capture. However, I sort of need to raise the snorkel a little bit here. I was hoping to get farther away from docks to do that. Okay, we'll breathe for as long as we dare, and then we'll have to hide it again. And the MTBs are in pursuit. And there is a U-boat in the area. I figured. Mr. Quebec, can you jump on the radio for me? We'll call that in. That might actually prove to be a wonderful distraction. Strange that I haven't picked her up yet. There she is. Why don't we have her go in that direction, keep the warships off our back. She's managed to alarm that ship, the freighter that we're passing. That's okay, I suppose. I think we managed to get in and out, no real worries whatsoever. I'd like to sink something here in the channel on the way out. That would be ideal. Alright, we've picked up this this small little patrol of 2 ships, and I don't see any reason why we shouldn't do a little damage on the way out the door here. Oh, Mr. Community is actually warming torpedoes in succession all of a sudden. Fantastic. Okay, we have an Empire Explorer. And we have what appears to be a C3. Yes, Community is doing the things he's supposed to do. Fantastic. Very, very good. Very happy about that. Okay, I'm thinking I'd like to pump 2 torpedoes into that C3. Let's go ahead and get a distance check on her. She won't be very far. And I think I'm going to go with 2 to begin with. Ordinarily I'd say 3. We'll just try 2. See how it goes. The angle on our Explorer is going to be a little too extreme for us to take a shot at her. We may consider coming out of the water and shooting her down.
10 Sekunden bis Einschlag.
1 in the rear, 1 amidships.
Schwere Schäden am Rumpf. Minimale Schäden. 1 doing severe damage, 1 doing minimal damage. Oh, look at that.
Her masts have come apart. She is sitting quite low in the water suddenly. Her cannon in the rear is manned. Something to make note of. She's already abandoned. Okay. Seems like she may sink on her lonesome. Okay, we're gonna pull a hard Yui here. I think I'm gonna risk bringing the boat up, and we'll deck gun down the Empire Explorer. Mr. Taff, to the deck gun, please. Okay, we've got a few HE loaded up, so we'll go ahead and take a few pot shots, see if we can't set her on fire. Something's shooting. What could be shooting? Not that ship. That's interesting. Something else is shooting at that ship. It's a little on the dangerous side, isn't it? It would seem by sinking one ship in this narrow strait, you could shut down shipping for quite some time. Alright, she's ablaze now. A few parting gifts on our way out, I suppose. Can't take it with you, folks. Use your ammo. Yes, indeed, she is sunk. Yeah, this ship is sitting directly on bottom. That's very unfortunate for port business. I wonder, what about our Empire friend? She's also sitting directly on bottom, I believe. One could argue that you could pretty much blockade Cardiff with a few well-aimed shots. Yeah. Very surreal, very James Cameron. Alright. Mission is complete. Great. Glad to hear it. See no reason not to surface the boat at this point. Unfortunately, we couldn't have found something interesting on the way up the strait, but well, can't win them all. Alright folks, we've made it back to port. Fantastic. Not a bad little patrol. Speak to the leading officer, go ahead and get ourselves some, U-Boat War Badges. U-Boat War Badge is awarded to crew members that participated in two war patrols. It was originally instituted during World War I. Good to know. So that was for Mr. Quebec. Now Mr. Community picks himself up the same, as does Mr. Red Dragon 1211. Taff and Exile. And of course I am the skipper, so I get more points than anyone, because that's how this works. Alright then. Went and picked ourselves up 13,720 tons. The tonnage is only counted from freighters. You'll see here the warships do not list tonnage. They do not count towards your total tonnage at the end of your patrol. 4 days, 6 hours at sea, a distance traveled of 26,511 kilometers. Oh, well that's terrible. We didn't stay undetected somehow. I wonder if that's when we surfaced to shoot down the Empire Explorer. Okay. Well, good to know. Don't come out of the water in the strait, I guess, is the answer to staying undetected. Because we were never detected, so, well, good to know. Oh, I heard a level up. Who leveled up? Ooh, just about everybody. Mr. Quebec. What can we get you? Assignments performed by the officer in headquarters are done 35% faster. Yes, please. Mr. Community. Same. Okay, Mr. Red Dragon. Okay, this officer meets all class requirements for the missions in headquarters. Fantastic, I suppose. And Mr. Taff. Assignments performed by the officer are done 35% faster. Okay. A little anticlimactic, sure. But that's alright, I suppose. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here, folks. Not a bad little mission. Cardiff Docks, not so tough. Again, I would very much recommend doing the research on the aerial reconnaissance first, as that's going to let you know where those mines and subnets are. I know they're there. And if you don't have it done, give the port a fairly wide berth on your way in. So definitely want to keep that in mind. So yes, overall, a fantastic patrol. Couldn't be happier. No damage to the ship. We managed to blow up some stuff, so I'm very, very pleased with that. And of course, until next time, I have been Lightly Salted. Thanks for tuning in. Bye now.